It's a really good song.
Welcome to the GGWP podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 22 of the podcast. Welcome in. They still don't play video games. Taylor just plays Minecraft all the time. I completed Dark Souls. I'm a champion.
So this is where I'm starting the podcast this week. That's where we're going. We're live now. Welcome everybody to episode 22 of the Grumpy Gaming Weekend podcast. With apparently we have a new intro now, and I really like it. So there we go. We are all here. We still have no guests this week because I just have been very lazy and haven't asked for anybody.
I can't do
so
the heart
it's just
thing. Why doesn't it work
just
for
the
me?
three of us. Ruby went on stream the other day and she went mental because she was like, people don't do it right, and I don't do it right either.
It just
Anyway,
looks like a
off topic.
circle when I do it.
Off topic already. We've been live for like 30 seconds. What have we been playing, guys? Who are we? What are you doing? What have we been playing this week? Elliott, go.
I completed Dark Souls. I'm a champion.
You are a champion. You're a winner. You're a winner and a champion.
Go to twitter.com/blindside_UK and you can see the last fight. I made the last boss look like an idiot. Like I beat him. So like it was like my fourth or fifth try on him, but I literally just won. Just at one point, I walked in and I was like, right, I'm just gonna start parrying him. And I walked in, got into the fight, I hit him a few times, got a few parries, and then literally right at the end, I was like, no, fed up with this. And it was just like 3 clean parries and like just stabbed him in his chest and he died.
I saw them. It didn't seem that difficult. Like you made it look quite easy.
You should see at some point, like check out my VOD for Monday and you'll see how much I struggle with. Like he hits hard. Like,
I mean, we'll probably just put some footage in. Wait,
yeah,
where's the scene? Where's the scene?
This
one?
Yeah.
Up there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We have some footage.
See if you can time it. Like right, there's one parry. Oh my god, what a champion! Then another parry comes round, and then I like end up. I do a bit round like a pillar or something, and then wait, another parry, and he's dead. Incredible.
Am I gonna have to edit this? Am I gonna have to edit this to make it look like you got that right now?
Yeah,
I am.
I mean, the clip's there, and on Twitter, you can just download the clip easily.
God damn it! But yeah, so you've done all of them now, I think, haven't you? Have you done pretty much all?
So I completed Bloodborne first. Not the true ending. The problem is now that I've done it, I really want to go back and do more. Yeah. So I want to get the true ending. I want to get the Bloodborne true ending because I got the basic bitch ending. Yeah. So I want to get the true ending. Sekiro, I want to do the optional bosses because I got to the end of Sekiro and was just like, yeah, we're just no. And Dark Souls, I have the DLCs, but once you beat the end boss, it puts you straight into New Game Plus. So I want to do. I don't want to do the DLC bosses on New Game Plus because they're way harder. And I'm a baby boy, so I plan on doing a new run through, and I'm just going to try and go through it real quick, get to the end, do the DLC stuff because apparently the DLC bosses are like incredible. Yeah. So I want to go back and do it more. I also want to play Dark Souls 2 now because I already own the game. I can't stop playing FromSoft games.
You just love them. This is your thing now. You're like developing a niche.
I really enjoy them. And you said developing a niche, but like stream-wise, I do way better with Stardew. I'm just a Stardew streamer now. I'm a Stardew streamer that every now and then just screams at stuff.
I just find it hard to multitask so much stuff. Like if you're streaming, I find games to be harder. Like I was trying to just like read stuff and comprehend what I was reading to be able to progress, and I couldn't do it because I was too busy like multitasking. But modded Minecraft.
Oh, so I'm so sorry. I take it back. Modded Minecraft. It's
it's
a whole new game.
Still haven't played. It's been like weeks, and everyone was like, "Play Minecraft, blah blah blah." Play Minecraft, and then I finally get it, and then nobody plays with me.
I've got it. I have the game now because you finally paid for it. I've been saying for weeks that if Taylor buys me Minecraft, I'll play Minecraft with her.
This is how desperate I am, people.
She
so
sent
come play
me
Minecraft
Canadian money, and then I couldn't get the Canadian money, and then she yelled at me more that I still hadn't bought it. And literally in chat today, she finally donated it on stream and was like, "Here's money for Minecraft." Whilst we were talking about it, someone else in chat was like, "I'll buy you Minecraft. It's easy." Like that's how bad it got. Olive was like, "I'll just get you Minecraft. Like, I'll do it."
Everyone's like, "Just play Minecraft already."
I reckon I'm gonna play Minecraft for exactly an hour and 35 before I'm just like, I'm very bored.
That was oddly specific. No. Like an hour and 35 minutes.
But to be fair, I said I'd play World of Warcraft Classic for 2 days, and it was exactly 2 days before I got bored. Like.
Called it.
It's
Yeah.
oddly specific, but it's going to be a specific amount of time before I get bored.
The fact that you've beaten Stardew so many times and you keep playing it, like this game is more interesting than Stardew.
I,
it's
I
kinda
agree
like
with that.
Excuse me, sir.
But you get like the same kind of like feeling of it.
Stardew's still coming out with like new content and stuff. When's the last time Minecraft
Yeah,
had
but-
new content?
Minecraft has way
Mods.
more content though. Like the mods make Minecraft like there's a lot to do in Minecraft, honestly, depending on what mod pack
Stardew
you're on.
has mods. I haven't touched them yet. I want to mod Stardew at some
Yeah,
point.
I saw somebody using a tractor once. Like I watched I think it was Jazzy Rose play it, and she was playing it with a tractor. And I was like, how would you get a tractor? She was like, mods. I was like, well, fine
Mods.
then. Because I haven't beaten the base game, let alone played it with mods. But yeah, so Taylor, what have you been playing? Pretty much just Minecraft by the sounds of it. Anything else?
Yeah.
Just Minecraft?
That's- I was like real close to getting Planet Zoo because the beta's out.
Oh my god, she said it the English way.
The beta's out, and I watched a lot of it, and I'm like kind of excited, but at the same time, like I think I might just wait for the full game.
I used to love those types of games, like Zoo Tycoon, Theme Park. I used to love all those kind of games, and I just found that it's one of those genres that doesn't seem to progress. Like nothing ever happens differently. Like they'll
The thing
release
is,
the
it's-
game and it's just the same, but with better graphics. And I'm like, well,
I almost get more enjoyment out of like being like an urban planner / interior designer / like architect from like those types of games than the actual
Yeah.
progression. Like I know you like to play through like the like actually having a successful park, but like I can go on creative for like days and I'm
Yeah.
like so happy.
I'm completely
So-
opposite. I like any of those kind of games when I play them. I like to be able to like build up my money or build up an empire kind of thing. Like I like to. It's kind of where like
Yeah.
at Minecraft, you start with nothing and you end up with something. I like that kind of progression. But then I don't mind making things look pretty. But after about an hour of doing that, I'm like, I'm all right now. I just want to sell some burgers or something to make some money. You know?
Yeah, no, I get way more like enjoyment I think out of the creative part.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. There's a really big following of like Sims creative streamers and YouTubers and things like that. It's definitely
I
people.
follow them.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely a lot of people that get that kind of enjoyment out of games.
Mhm.
But I just find that those games are just pretty much like, I don't know, you buy one and then you buy another one like 10 years later and it's just the same, just with upgraded graphics. So I
Hey,
didn't
this
really
one has animals, Grumpy.
No, but I played Zoo Tycoon before, you know. So I'm saying like I've played those types
Is
of
it-
games. I'll have a look at it. But
I like Zoo
Yeah.
Tycoon. I
I never
so
played that one.
I applied for a Planet Zoo key on Keymailer, and like I never heard back from like all the. So there's like whole list of stuff where it's like you've requested something, didn't hear back from a load of them because obviously I've like only just made the profile.
yeah.
Planet Zoo was the only one to reply, and they rejected me, and I was just like, can't you just
Aw.
leave it like the rest of them? So I'm not playing it now. Boycotting Planet Zoo.
Oh,
No.
wow, okay.
Aww.
I mean,
Wait,
support
it's
devs.
Expensive. I think like I don't know, it's $50. So that's like what, $3 for you guys? But
No. Also, we have pounds, not dollars.
well I sent for the Minecraft, I sent it to Elliott and I put in $30. It comes up as like 17 or something.
Yeah, it's like £18.60. And she was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe the Canadian dollar's worth so little.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I already know it's worth so little. It's fine.
Yeah.
So have you played anything this week, Grumpy?
I've literally no. All I've done this week is Dead by Daylight. What did I stream on Sunday? I streamed Dead by
Dead by
Daylight.
Daylight.
Yeah, I streamed
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight on Sunday, and I just released a YouTube video on the channel a couple of days ago, which was a pig jump scare build, which is really fun to do. I spent all day making that video, and I had 3. So the new map's just come out with the Demogorgon, and it's a very indoor map. It's got lots of little sort of corners and really good like choke points. And so I thought that would be a really good map for the stealthy killers. So I was like, let's go as pig. And so I needed the offerings to get that map so I could make the video. And I spent pretty much all of the double blood point weekend just dumping all of my blood points into pig to get those offerings, and I got 3 of them. So I was like, right, I've got 3 matches, I've got to make these matches count. And so I recorded them, and all 3 of them were really good matches. I got a 4K and 2 3Ks, and only those 2 3Ks were only because the person found the hatch, but they were really good matches. I like dominated. It was really, really great. And then I went back over the footage and was like, why is there no game audio? I was like, why is it all muted? And then I looked at my OBS and was like, oh, that's why it's all muted. Because I'm a big dom-dom, and I actually muted the game audio in the intro of the video, so it wouldn't be competing with like my voice and the the music that I had on. And I forgot to unmute it, and I was like, I can't believe I did that. So I ended up going back and doing the video again on Larry's, which is another indoor map, which wasn't as exciting, but I got a couple of decent matches out of it, so I managed to cobble a video together. But I was really wounded because like I spent all day doing this, and I'm like, I haven't made a lot of content recently because I have been ill. So I'm like, I'm wounded. I lost a day of footage, but you live and learn. So I haven't really got much else to report, to be honest. I really wanted to upload that Untitled Goose Game video, but I've also been having problems with my video editing software, so it's been a very, very, very slow week for me, unfortunately. However, next week from Wednesday, I am off. I have 2 weeks off work because EGX is coming up. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast yet, but we're going to EGX.
Oh, I'm so excited for EGX. We're going to be in an Airbnb together, being idiots. And we're
we're going to film lots and lots of it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I have a week off work before I go to EGX, so I'm planning on doing some streaming content, YouTube content, and all that kind of stuff. So more games then. Look forward to that. But yes, that's pretty much what we've all been doing, unless anyone else has been doing anything else that I forgot. That's pretty much
I've been watching YouTube videos. I watched this one as Pig Scare Build. It was really good.
Yeah, was it good?
No, to be fair, it was a really good video. I was very I was expecting, because I've seen like some of your videos where it's like, oh, here's some like the Dead by Daylight stuff. It's a bit like, it's quite informative and less entertaining.
Okay, I was gonna say, is he about to like completely slate my content? He's about to be.
No.
So I've seen some of your Dead by Daylight videos, and they're a bit
just
crap.
hurt listening to that because where's this going?
Some of them are really good if you want to like learn DVD, which I'm less interested in. But this was like, I feel like you did a good job of being like, okay, here's the build I'm using, and here's like some of the information, and then here's just me bullying people. And I was like, yes.
So I really enjoyed that build. So go watch the video if you're into Dead by Daylight. Go watch the video. But like essentially, it uses the ultra rare pig add-on, and so you get to see people like their outlines when you're crouched, and it was so much fun to just jump out on people. And I almost wish I could have seen their reactions and put those in the video, but obviously there's no way of doing that. But it was just I really enjoyed playing that build, and so I thought
we could do a kill your friends.
We could do.
I would not want to do kill your friends with you as the killer.
With me?
Because out of us, you are the best killer, and I'm probably the worst survivor.
That is very true. I mean, I've got way more hours in the game than anyone else. I've just breached 500 hours in that game. So,
but yeah, like I feel like if I was killer and you were survivor, at least I'd stand a chance at murdering everyone else and making your life difficult.
I would love to bully you as survivor though. Like I wouldn't mind that. Maybe there we go. We've got an idea for some content.
Should we just have a game? Just play kill your friends. We'll like recruit some others.
Yeah, Guzzy plays. We'll get Guzzy. That'll be great.
Yeah, if we get Guz, and then we need one more person, and I'll try and kill you. I'll just pick off everyone around you.
Yeah.
I just have to, like, the matches that you have where like you play killer, and like I suppose it's different for me because like I'm a low rank killer, but when it's survive with friends and one of them's clearly a higher rank than the rest of them.
Yeah.
And like you'll go and chase one person, then someone appears on your peripheral and they're like with a flashlight or something, and you're like, you clearly want me to chase you. I'm not doing it because you're gonna loot me for days, and you're gonna flashlight me.
And they're usually YouTubers or streamers, so you're getting featured on a video somewhere.
so I'm just like, no. What I'm gonna do is the person you're trying to distract me from, I'm gonna go murder them, and there's nothing you can do about it. No, I'm not taking that bait. Get away from me.
Yeah, I mean, Dead by Daylight is still one of my favorite games at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. There's a Halloween event coming up soon, which I've never played Dead by Daylight over Halloween. I think I started just after Halloween last year. I think that's when I started. Maybe a little bit later than that. But I'm really looking forward to the Halloween event. There's some skins coming out, and I don't know how it all works, but it'll be fun. So that's that. So moving on to the topics that we have. The first one, what are we doing? The first one. Oh yeah, that's it. The first topic is Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because a game came out and it's crap. Oh, what a shocker. What a surprise. Oh.
To be fair, the game itself and the mechanics aren't what's crap. It's
well, there's two sides to this. I've heard a lot of people criticize the game being like it's just another Ubisoft game, which to be fair, as already, that criticism has been levied against a lot of Ubisoft games already, because it's kind of true. I mean, we were talking about this in the pre-show. If you look at the last two Assassin's Creed games, you've got Assassin's Creed Origins and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and both of those games, if you were to like just take away the setting, they look like the same game. They are basically the same game. And this is a criticism that a lot of people have levied, is that these games are often very, very similar. And so that's one of the criticisms about the gameplay, is that it just feels like just yet another Ubisoft, semi-open world game. But this time the game has a ton of microtransactions, and in this case, they're not even just cosmetic microtransactions. They're actually gameplay influencing, or a lot of people call it pay to win microtransactions. So I haven't played the game, and I don't believe any of us have, so I'm not an expert on the mechanics of the game. But supposedly the only way to gain power or become more powerful in that game is by your gear score, and you can buy gear which improves your power in the game. So people are saying, why would we go around and grind? I don't know. I don't think there's levels in the game, but why would we go around grinding, getting different gear when we could just buy it? And on top of that, there's actually a lot of microtransactions. There's pages and pages. Some people are saying there's more microtransactions in this game than there ever has been in a Ubisoft game before. And in this climate of I think everyone pretty much at this point is getting sick to death of this, this process. You buy a game, you pay $60, £50, 945 Canadian, I don't know. And then you get the game, and then you have to pay a ton more money to just even get the basics, if you will. And so, yeah, I'm not surprised. I even tweeted out, I'm not surprised. Is anyone really surprised at this point?
I mean, Ubisoft, they've already brought out a season pass for Siege. They've, over the years, been very known for microtransactioning and monetization aggressively. So I'm not really surprised.
Well, I feel like for quite a while, Ubisoft has been the sort of lesser of the big evils. EA has always been touted as being the worst. In my honest opinion, Activision Blizzard is a very, very close second. But a lot of people have been saying that Ubisoft is sort of the lesser of the evils. And I think some people are now, well, hang on a minute, now they're just as bad as all the others. And I don't know. I feel like Ubisoft, at least in their defense, they are making games that work. We're not talking about Bethesda level of games that just completely don't work, like Fallout 76. We're not talking about like sort of Blizzard level of games that don't work either. We're talking about like these games are usually quite well developed, but they're now seemingly becoming just as bad as all the others when it comes to monetization. And we've got to reach a turning point soon. Like there's got to be a point where people just go, no, I'm not buying your games anymore. I mean, I'm already there. I knew I wasn't going to buy Breakpoint from looking at the last one. Was it Wildlands? And looking how bad that one was received. Oh god, frame drops.
Yeah, Wildlands.
Looking at how badly that one was received, and I just wasn't interested in it. So when Breakpoint was released, I mean, Breakpoint is the one that has John Bernthal in it, right? Is this the one, or is that a later one? I'm pretty sure we saw this at E3. We saw somebody.
Were you finding it before?
I didn't know if you were googling it.
John Bernthal was in Breakpoint.
Yeah, so I was.
Oh yeah, he came out with the dog, didn't he?
Yeah.
They were trying to compete with Keanu, I reckon. Yeah. They're like, oh no, oh Jesus, Project Red. CD Projekt Red have come out with Keanu Reeves. We need anyone.
We need anyone. John Bernthal. He's not doing Punisher season 3, is he? So
let's a celebrity. Give him a dog. Give him a dog.
I'm still angry at Netflix. But yeah, so I was kind of intrigued by that. But the actual gameplay, we've said it before, and I said it in the pre-show. It's just shooty bang bang bros with guns again. And I played that game a million times. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. If we're talking about shooty bang bang with guns in space a la Master Chief, and it's actually a good game again, I'm sold. But just normal dudes just shooting each other, like I'm kind of over it. I need something interesting.
But that could just be your opinion. Like lots of people games. And
I was gonna say, like, I'm still happy. I'm still happy for like terrestrial shooty bang bang. Like I don't need there to be space or time travel or whatever. So I'm happy with the shooty bang bang game, but it has to be a good one.
These games,
it has to do something.
Yeah, these games are the Fast and Furious of the video game world. They're like, some people keep watching them, and some people, I'm like, how many are we up to now? Like Fast and Furious 12. People are like, yeah, but it's good, isn't it? And I'm like, sure, you enjoy that.
It's now spin-offs with the Rock.
Yeah, the slightly more faster and slightly less furious. But no, it's like I said, if you enjoy that, then go ahead. And I'm sure there are people out there that really enjoy Wildlands. Well,
there must be, otherwise they wouldn't keep doing it, right? Like,
but I feel like these people, the ones that do enjoy those genre of games, even those people who just buy it every year, every time, even those people are starting to get a little bit pissed off, I think, with the monetization. I think even those people are like, well, hang on, I've just bought this game, and my buddy also bought it, and he just bought a load of stuff, and he's more powerful than me now. You know what I mean? And so I feel like these kind of people are also jumping onto the bandwagon of, I'm not happy about this. You know, I want my games to be complete. I don't want to have to spend £50 and then another 25 in the first week. Otherwise, I'm not as competitive. And to be fair, to complete the story, to be, I almost said journalists, we're not journalists, but you know, to be fair, they have since reduced the amount of microtransactions in the game. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they've removed them or they've made them, you know, if they've made them unlockable or they've given them to players. I don't know what they've done, but they have reduced the amount. But it's very interesting. As part of this story, something that was brought up was that people who played the beta noticed that all of these options were shown as being locked. They weren't shown with a price, and it wasn't obvious that they were microtransactions. They were just shown as being locked in the beta. So nobody could criticize them. Nobody could turn around and go, whoa, I played the beta and look how many stuff there were. It's almost, again, it's almost bordering on false advertisement territory here. People are being shown a product, they buy the product, and it's not what they were shown before. And so I think a lot of people who actually played the beta, that's why they're so surprised, because they came to the beta expecting you to be able to unlock those items, and then went, oh, actually you have to buy them. So I don't know. I was not that interested in the game anyway, but now I know for sure I ain't gonna pick it up. I mean, do you guys care about this game? Like, would you have played it if it didn't have all of this monetization in it? I
just pulled up a Reddit post that was coming about the monetization. There is pages and
I think it's like 17 pages or something like that of microtransactions.
Some of them are listed by most popular, and like the top comment is wait, let me just scroll past all these pictures. How is there a most popular when no one has used the store yet and someone just replied to it going, oh, don't worry, they know what you're likely to buy before you buy it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like I mean it's supposed to be like quite a good, well, a lot of the like Wildlands was definitely like supposed to be quite a good co-op game. Get a few friends together.
I heard the opposite. I heard that it was a very bleak game, but the only way that it was enjoyable is if you were playing with friends. And that's not a positive for me, because literally any game is more fun with friends. Like if you have a few beers and play the crappiest game ever, that could be fun, you know?
I mean, I've had this conversation. I think we've had it on the podcast. I've definitely had it with Stream Chat. Whereas, like, realistically, if you're playing with friends, like, anything's fun.
Yeah. Apart from like, Alien Clone of Marines, I tried that co-op and even that couldn't save it.
Well, yeah.
But generally speaking, you're right.
If you can get a few friends together and play a game, like, you're probably gonna have fun with it either way. But yeah, short of like maybe the three of us going like, oh, new Tom Clancy game came out. Do you guys want to try it? I probably wasn't gonna play this. But the monetization definitely makes me like now to a point where if I had a friend who was like, oh, I was thinking of looking at like the new Ghost Recon game, I'd be like, maybe not because of that monetization. Whereas before I'd have been like, oh, let me know how you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this definitely for me comes under like very much bad press. I know they say all press is good press. This is not good press.
I wonder if like people evaluate like the cost of a game and the microtransactions as like, okay, I've spent 30 hours on this at $10 an hour. I'm willing to spend $300 on this game. Like I don't like that's how I justify games really in my head. I'm like,
a lot of people
like, what's the projected amount of time that I'm going to pay for something like this? And then I put it next to something that's like an equal type of purchase. Like you go to the movie theater, that's $20. You know what I mean? And like you get that for 2 hours.
I've
had
like, this debate with JP before, because some people actually do quantify that. They have like a ratio of how many hours to how many dollars.
Oh, I'm 100% one of those people.
So I'm not, and the reason why I'm not is because, like, what would you rather do? Would you rather play 40 hours of a game that was meh, or 10 hours of a game that was amazing? Like, what would you prefer out of those two scenarios? Like, there's really, would you prefer a 40-hour meh game than a 10-hour amazing game, like a game that you like?
I'm assuming in this like world they're both the same price.
Well, I mean, either way, like just think about it. Like, if you put that into perspective, there's a lot of games that have a lot of hours in them, but that doesn't necessarily mean those hours
I guess
fun.
The thing I'm trying to say is like most of the games where there's microtransactions, it doesn't cut off at 10 hours because it's not like a story-based game. It's more of like a competitive game where you can get way more hours out of it. So now you're paying more
However, to counter that, what I'm saying is most of these games that have the microtransactions, they end up being less fun because of them. So whereas in the past you would be able to unlock those things in the game via gameplay, and you know, like usually games were balanced around being, okay, so you start off with this level of power and you progress and you become more powerful as you go along. Now a lot of games make that journey worse. They make it longer or more boring to tempt you to buy the microtransactions. And so that 10 hours of going from A to B, whereas that used to be an enjoyable experience, now it's a very frustrating experience unless you buy. And that's what I'm saying. Like in these games where they have the microtransactions, usually the actual base enjoyment out of a game for me is worse, because if you know the game is a complete package, take a game like Little Nightmares, right? You play from start to finish, and that game was very, very enjoyable. Whereas a game like Ghost Recon, if you spend the same amount of time, because I finished Little Nightmares in like 6 hours, maybe even less than that, right? So if you play 6 hours in Ghost Recon Wildlands, Breakpoint, you've probably not had as much of a fun time as you did in Little Nightmares. And this is what I know. That's a very like contrasting comparison, because those games are wildly different, right? Yeah, and of course.
Okay.
And some people love grind, some people don't. It's why some people love WoW Classic and some people don't, right? But my point is that the base mechanics of games are being changed to be less enjoyable, to pressure you into, or to influence you into buying the microtransactions, which makes the game more enjoyable. And we know this has happened so many times.
I'm saying is like, okay, yes, you've paid $50-$60 for the base game. Now you know that you're going to have to pay for microtransactions, which like, let's say you spend another $50. So you've invested $100, and you know, okay, well, maybe I'll get 100 hours out of this game because it's a competitive game. I'll keep playing it over and over and over again. So I'm okay with that pricing.
It's not a competitive game though. It's not like Dead by Daylight or such where it's like PvP. It's more of a co-op. It's a co-op experience. So you're going out into the world and it's you versus the AI, you versus the enemy soldiers.
So it has like an end time on it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like after you've played it for 15 hours, it's done.
From what I can gather, yeah, there may be repeatable stuff, like maybe you can repeat the missions, but it's
okay,
not.
It's not. Okay, because like if it's a game, I guess that's where my opinion would vary. Is if it's a game you can play over and over again, I have less issue with microtransactions because you're investing more, you're spending more time.
Yeah, which is like why people are more forgiving on games like Siege, because Rainbow Six Siege is a competitive game, and you buy the game and you're still playing it 2 years later, so people understand and they accept that there are going to be more monetization, because otherwise the developers would just stop that game and they'd go on to a new one.
To make a new one. But the thing that makes no sense to me then is like that mechanism doesn't work in a game that has like a clear endpoint in it, because it's like, okay, what are you paying for?
Exactly. You're paying essentially to skip the content. You're paying to become more powerful so you can go and do the higher missions or whatever. So rather than actually going out and doing the missions to get the gear again, I don't 100% know how it works. I've only seen footage and videos.
I mean, you're assuming.
Yeah. But to go out and actually earn those rewards would take time, and that would be probably less fun than the guy who just bought them all and now he's super powerful and he's running around doing missions that you can't do. And this is what I'm saying. It's not like people have varying tolerances. Like there's some people out there that love microtransactions. Let's be clear on that. Everybody has like a varying tolerance to microtransactions. Some people hate them altogether and they're like, I won't ever buy a game that has a single microtransaction in it. And some people, like love them. There's like a scale for everybody. But what my argument is I feel like that most people that would buy this Ghost Recon game, even the majority of those people who at one point probably wouldn't have minded, I think even they're starting to get sick of it. And I think we're seeing this turning point where people are like, I don't have the money, and you know what I mean? Like I've just paid $60, £50 for a game. What have I paid for? And just to add on to your point earlier about hours spent as well, you can go and buy a game like The Witcher 3, which The Witcher 3, if you want to do everything, you can spend 200-300 hours on that game, right? And you can. I know people that have done it. I spent probably about 100 hours myself on that game, and there are no microtransactions in that one. There are DLCs, but they're added extra content. It's almost like it's a completely different story. But the actual base game, there is not a single microtransaction in that game, and yet you're getting 300 hours worth of content out of the game. And by the way, out of that 300 hours, or I'm just guesstimating here, but out of that amount of hours, it's all really entertaining as well. There's no filler, no fluff, no copy pasted, crap. It's all really engaging and well written content. So it's like, why can one studio, CD Projekt Red, do it, but then Ubisoft, who has more resources as well, they have more resources than CD Projekt Red. They're a much bigger company. They have more money. They have more. They have a bigger team. So why are they coming out with a worse product? And this is what I've been saying for years. Like, the AAA video game industry, they're supposed to be making the best of the best. And at one point they were. And now they're making pretty much the bare minimum that they can get away with and throwing it out and selling it as a half-baked product. And they hope to make the money on the microtransactions. And this has to end at some point. And honestly, I know there are people watching this podcast that are like, oh my God, I'm sick of hearing about it. And like, I'm sick of talking about it. Like, I would love for the AAA video game industry to turn it back and go, no, do you know what? We're actually going to start making stellar games again. But with the way the industry is now, with the mobile, the influence the mobile market has had on video games, then they don't seem like they want to anymore. And it's such a shame. And this is why I'm going to be interviewing pretty much exclusively indie devs when it comes to EGX, by the way. I don't think I'm going to bother trying any of the AAA. They probably wouldn't let me interview them anyway. But even if they would, I don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'm going to stick to the indies just because I'm like, I don't know, AAA video game industry, it feels like it's dying off to me. Like, it feels like it's coming to an end of what we know it as anyway. Like, I just don't see how they can sustain it.
It's almost like on Steam, like, how there's like an enjoyment rating or whatever people do.
Yeah.
It's like they should have like a value for money, like 1, 2, like there's just 2 ratings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because like, how do you
that.
know without other people telling you? And like, it seems like we're not getting very genuine like responses or reviews from bigger like reviewing journalists and stuff like that. Like,
this is the problem. This is why we actually have this sort of weird, and I know Elliott knows all about this, but we have this like weird sort of thing at the moment where the AAA video game industry are desperately trying to reach out to big people with big audiences, so journalists or YouTubers or whatever, but people that will spin the positives of all their games. They don't want the people that are saying it how it is. They don't want me. They don't want you. They want people to go, I love Ghost Recon. Like, guys, come and watch my stream where I stream it for 12 hours and I don't drink. It's like, they want that, and they don't want people turning around going, hang on a minute, this is bullshit. And I think more and more people are turning around and going, this is bullshit, So it's a weird one. I think that we need a shake-up in the video game industry. We need something to stop this trend of them just getting away with it. And there's only 2 ways we can do it. The one way is we can have the industry collapse, which is not what I want, because that means people lose their jobs. And the only other way we can do it is by people actually just stop buying their games. And this has kind of happened to Blizzard. People stopped buying Blizzard games when they started doing all their rubbish. And Blizzard sort of very quickly turned around and started doing things differently when we stopped paying them money. So maybe that's what needs to happen. But the problem is games like Ghost Recon sell massive amounts. They do, because they've got the name, they've got the license, they've got the pedigree behind them. So people keep buying them. But I have a feeling if there is another Ghost Recon game, I have a feeling there's a lot of people that are going to be very skeptical before they buy it. I think a lot of people are going to be very, very careful. But yeah, none of us bought it. None of us were interested.
I saw there was a period of time where like Twitch was just full of it, but again, that was during the closed beta.
You've also got to remember that a lot of people on Twitch, they want to gain the following, and so people jump on the latest thing hoping it's going to be their breakthrough game. This happens on every time. This is what happened with Apex Legends. That's the reason why it blew up, because everyone thought they were going to be the next Ninja. They thought, I can be the best Apex Legends player, so I'm going to get millions. And most people didn't, so they ended up going back to Fortnite or PUBG or whatever. But this would be the same thing with Ghost Recon. Everyone all jumped on it. Maybe a lot of people were just curious. They wanted to play it, but then a lot of people probably just wanted the
Well, the weird thing is, like, an awful lot of them were marked as like ads, but during the beta, there was no microtransactions. The microtransactions showed up on the menus as locked.
Yeah.
So it didn't show that there was going to be a unit cost or a real money cost for these things. It just looked like you could unlock them as they got through the game, which is one of the things that I've seen a lot of people come out on Twitter and Reddit recently, where they've just been like, wait, during the beta, these things weren't here. It looked like I could unlock stuff.
This is what I was saying earlier.
I have to buy it.
It's borderline false advertising for me. It's like saying, well, You know, it's like, what was the reason for those to be locked? If they just said like, these are microtransactions or whatever, then people could have talked about it. But they did it on purpose, and this is what these big companies do. It's the same reason why Blizzard every single time, and I'm calling you out, Activision Blizzard. Every time a Call of Duty game comes out now, will
shadow ban.
But they do.
I'm not doing it.
They sneak in the loot boxes after all the reviews have come out, and I know a lot of people. When they did it last time, there was a few people on YouTube that actually pulled their reviews and changed them and said, look, well, you've changed your game afterwards and made it worse. I'm going to take my review down and give you a different score. And we were actually talking about this in the pre-show. This is why I have a gag video that I may or may not make. But it's kind of like, I'm going to like pre-review the game and be like, well, it's just a beta review. My review is subject to change. It's not a final product, so you can't criticize it. But yeah, these companies will only get away with this stuff for so long. It will stop one day. And again, I'd rather people just turn around and say we've had enough, stop it. But I can see the video game industry collapsing before that happens, and that's not what I want. But there we go. Dark times, dark tidings, all that negative bleh. Taylor, you actually have a topic today. You came up with your own topic. Why don't we talk about that?
She's forgotten what it is.
That's not true. The PS5 is coming out with Game Assist.
Yeah.
I think that's what they called it, right? I had a brain fart of what it's called. It's
I
called
think it's Game Assistant
AI.
Yeah. It's been patented yet, so the name might change.
Right.
But yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? What is it?
Why are you prompting me like this is a school assignment?
It is. You are being graded. I'm gonna write down your grade.
I hate being put on the spot.
Let's go.
You know that.
Let's go.
Okay. It's contextual gameplay assistance is the key word here. And so it essentially is going to watch what you're doing. It's going to register how you're playing the game. If you're playing like shit, it's going to help you. So
that literally needs to be the tagline. PlayStation 5 Game Assist. If you're playing like shit, we'll help you. Like, please. Yeah, please.
So from what I've read, it either is going to adapt the game and make the gameplay easier, or it's going to offer assistance in the form of like tips or like journal entries where you can go. So if you're like, the one example was like if you're running around, you don't know what task you're supposed to be doing, you could do that. And then also, by do that, I mean it'll give you tips of where you should be going, what your next objective is.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it looked like it was going to make like battles or like fights easier for you if you keep dying.
Yeah.
So Dark Souls.
So your console's going to call you out if you're bad at games.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. We don't 100% know how it works yet because they've only just filed a patent for it. And
yeah,
it's something that people have been speculating for a while, and I think it could be a good idea. The idea that if you are struggling on a game, basically if you're a game journalist and you can't get past a tutorial, the PlayStation will tell you like, hey, you clearly are a games journalist. I can tell from your performance. So here, we're going to make it easier for you. But we don't know exactly how it's going to work. Is it going to be something that PlayStation does all itself? Is it going to require dev integration? The dev's going to be able to code. Like, we don't know how it works, but it's a cool and interesting feature.
Well, it must be the devs who integrate it, because not
necessarily.
How would it...
So the patent shows literally like the way that it's going to work. There's a few figures for it, and one of the ways that you can use it is you can literally ask the PlayStation for help. So whereas at the moment, say you had sorry, and Alexa users, because it's about to get weird for you guys. Say you had an Alexa in your room and you were like stuck on a game, and you were like, hey Alexa, how do I beat Draugrs on Skyrim? Like, because it's not linked to specifically where you are in the game. Like, I've just pulled this up. Like, it seems like the PlayStation Assistant, like, it will pause the game. And so say you were stuck on a boss. So last boss of Dark Souls, Gwyn. If you were stuck on Gwyn and you walked into the room and you went, PlayStation Assistant, what's Gwyn's weakness? Or like, what his attacks like? If you do that with an Alexa, you're not necessarily going to get the answer that you want, but contextually in the game, the PlayStation goes, cool, you're in this room with this boss, and we have this library of information available to us, so we can be like, cool, Gwyn has a long fire sword, he has 2 skill sets that he uses these moves, he's weak to this, one tactic is to hide behind the pillars when you need to east us. So apparently
I was going to say, this has just turned into the Elliott teaches us how to play Dark Souls.
I was just
It
thinking,
works for whatever.
Pam likes eggs. You can give her a gift.
Yeah, so if you're playing Stardew, you could be like, "Oh, I want to date Emily," and it would be like, "Emily likes like expensive minerals, like diamonds and rubies and emeralds. This is her. It's Thursday, the 4th of fall at the moment, so she's going to be here until
So
this time."
if you're playing The Witcher 3, it'll just say Quen. Just always use Quen. Just every
use
time.
Quen.
Just use Quen. I got
Get
like,
hit.
people
hit
get
them.
so triggered about using Quen in The Witcher 3 because it's like, for anyone who doesn't play The Witcher 3, Quen is like the shield spell, and
It's
if
cheating.
you cast it upon yourself, you get a free hit. So the first time you get hit, it doesn't count. And I played through on Death March and pretty much exclusively used Quen, apart from when I had to use the other signs. So people were like, "Oh, try playing without Quen," and I was like, "Oh no." That was my response. But
So yeah, my playthrough, I got the Griffin Witcher armor, which is a round spell use and sword play. So it was like literally I built into like Quen. I was just like, yeah, Quen.
I went Wolf and I still built into Quen. Taylor, she is muted. I was going to say she's just on the phone. This is the professionalism we have on the podcast. You know, Taylor's so busy.
My dog is missing and my dad is yelling, and I'm like, I'll call mom and see if she took the dog.
I thought you were going to be like, so I'm ringing the dog.
Can we call 555 missing dog?
So if you had a PS5, you could be like, PlayStation Assistant, where's Taylor's dog gone?
Yeah, where's Pino?
And the PlayStation Assistant would be like, I don't know anything about that, but here's how you beat Gwyn at the end of Dark Souls.
You beat Gwyn by using Quen. But no, I think it's an interesting idea, and the questions have already been asked, like, can we turn it off? And which I'm assuming you'll be able to turn it off, because if you can't turn that off, God, the Dark Souls players will kick off, and that's not what we want. We don't want people kicking off because they can't make the game harder, because you know how it is. But I think it's a good idea, and I think for people that maybe do get stuck on a game, there's nothing more frustrating than being stuck on a game. But these days we have the internet. Like, if you get stuck in a certain area of the game, you could just Google it. But then I guess this means you don't have to.
The main bulk of it looks like it is basically a voice assistant. So the same way that you have, like with the phone, I won't do it. I did this on stream earlier. And then I said the prompt for my phone to wake up and search things based on voice. And then she's found the dog.
No, not this dog. Different dog.
She's grabbed that dog so it can't get out. But yeah, I did this earlier because I said the prompt for my mobile phone, and then I yelled at it to stop doing what it was doing, and it set a timer and then yelled at me back. But yeah, it's effectively like, so say I was playing a game and I was like, okay, Google, how do I do this in the game?
So you've now triggered everybody's Alexa and all of their Google stuff. So good
is
job.
there another one?
Siri, yeah. You know, why not just get Siri involved?
Siri, go on Amazon and buy stuff.
No, don't. Amazon already got in trouble with that. Did you hear about that when the Amazon Echo, whatever it was, first came out? And on one of the TV adverts, it said like, "Hey Amazon," or whatever. Like, I don't know what you say for Amazon, but it was like, "Hey Amazon, go buy toilet paper." And then like everybody everybody was like, that Amazon was just ordering like toilet paper.
Strong. But yeah.
Which is like, it's a power move. It's like, hey, we're going to give you this product and it's going to make you buy more products from us. But yeah, no, I like it in theory.
It's good times, but I think it's basically like it can contextualize like where you are in a game. So at the moment, like say you're stuck on whatever and you go to Google it, sometimes you have to Google like the exact terms that you want, or sometimes you're better off going to a wiki, finding the right article, getting to the bit in the article. Whereas this, I think it can recognize stuff on the screen, and because it is in the PlayStation, it can see what you're seeing. So it can be like, okay, you've said these terms, but we know that you're looking for this.
Would that not affect performance? Would that not affect performance though? Because I mean, if you look at the PlayStation 4, I have an original PlayStation 4 because I haven't bought the Pro, but like already that on certain games struggles with performance. I have frame drops, I have stuttering and so on. And so like, would that not I keep saying, that not affect performance if you're having
I'm going to guess that the PS5 has the power to, because realistically it's just a fancy Google search. So like how much performance can it,
but if it's running in the background the whole time you're like,
but surely
turns out my brother had the dog.
Well, I'm glad the dog isn't missing. People
and my
in the comments below are like,
my dad has like these little shit fits because anyway. And so the dog is found. So I had to be muted because he's yelling in the background, being like, "Where is it?"
Well, at least he cares about where the dog is. At least you haven't
so
lost
the dog's fine, but Miles is going to have a bad day.
No. I'm the daughter, so I get the shit, and he's the angel son who can do no wrong.
But he stole a dog.
I don't think he stole the dog. Defamation! But no, carry on. We're talking about the PlayStation 5 Assistant. No, it's okay.
Yeah, continue. I'm sorry, friends.
I think it's because it's a bit like the Alexa and stuff that only listen for their prompt. So it's not running anything in the background. It's basically just like, have they said this? Have they said this? Have they said this?
It would still be running a process though in the background. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as we can turn it off, as long as we can have it if we don't want it on like disabled, then I'm all for it because it's another nice option. It's something that like I feel like it's something that will benefit some people, and for people that don't want it, then they don't have to use it. So it's a win-win for everybody, you know. And again, games journalists are gonna love it.
To make it like work and like develop it and do all that, and all that time costs money, and we're gonna pay for it.
Well, it depends on how it works. If we're the way that we're sort of, you know, guessing it's gonna work is basically like a glorified Google search. It wouldn't really be that much work, you know.
On the plus side, though, the PS5 looks really weird.
But it's just confirmed, though. I've seen so many prototypes.
Apparently, it has been confirmed by an insider that this is what the dev console looks like.
Oh, I've heard that before. Do you remember that time in the PlayStation? Was it the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 3 when they were like, it's gonna have a grill in it?
There's a girl in it?
No, a grill, like things you can cook food on.
I mean, to be fair, the PS3 basically had a grill in it.
Well, mine did when it blew up. But yeah, so that was one of the features that we're talking about with PlayStation, but there's another feature that we're talking about with PlayStation that they finally added about time.
That's the PlayStation 4, and it's about time they've done it, although it does come down to devs as well. So PS4 are introduced, they have introduced and they have tested a crossplay feature.
Is it crossplay or is it sideways plus play?
Oh.
Or what's the other one?
45 degree. Oh no, that was it. 45 degree angle something.
What was the other one? Cross or
X
plus? Plus X.
It was cross X or plus rotated 45.
I'm going to call it X play from now on, but continue.
X play. PS4 have brought out X play, and it's now out of beta. In the article that I'm currently reading, they have put it in inverted commas. But no, people are hoping that now that it's out of the testing phase, there will be more support provided. Yeah. Sony have said that it still comes down to devs. Devs have to opt into it,
which is absolutely right, you know. But
the crossplay is now inherent in Sony's servers. Yeah. So all a dev has to do, rather than a dev coming up with a program that helps with crossplay, all the dev has to do is go, yes, we would like this, tick the box.
Yeah,
as far as my understanding looks, it is still quite new. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing it's not completely perfect, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction.
For me, it's more of a attitude thing. It's more for the longest time, Sony dragged their heels and was like, nope, no crossplay.
They did not want to play with others.
Yeah. And
although if you think about it, Microsoft were doing the whole like, oh yeah, we've got crossplay because it's Xbox to PC, and it's like those are both Microsoft.
Yeah, that's not true.
You're not playing with anyone. You've got two toys of your own. You're going like, look, see, multiple toys. It's like you own both of them. Stop.
But no, it's great because a lot of people can't afford to buy every single console, especially now that generations aren't proper generations anymore. You know, you have the Xbox One, the One S, the One X. You've got PlayStation 4, PlayStation Mini, PlayStation Pro, so on and so forth. Nintendo Switch, Switch Lite. Sorry, Nintendo aren't getting away with it. But you have all these sort of mini generations now, and people can't afford to buy every one. And so if you're the person who bought an Xbox and your friend was the one who bought a PlayStation, being not able to play together was not great, you know. And we said that we can forgive platform exclusives, and I can, you know. Platform exclusives, they're a thing. They're never going to go away. That's the only reason to buy a console anymore. But being able to play multiplayer games, especially multiplayer-only games as well, because there's a lot of those these days that we never used to have. So multiplayer-only games, being able to play with your friend on another platform is a win for everybody. And I don't understand why Sony didn't figure this out sooner. Because if I'm the guy on PlayStation and you're the guy on Xbox and you keep saying, hey, Grumpy, play Minecraft with me. Play Minecraft with me, Grumpy. Play Minecraft. And I go, I can't, I'm on PlayStation. Now I have no excuse, and so I run out and I buy Minecraft and I play with it. So it's another sale for the PlayStation console. It's keeping me on the console for longer, which, let's be honest, these days, the longer you spend on a console, the more likely you are to buy other things on that console. So it makes sense from a business standpoint. So I'm not sure why it took them so long, but they've done it finally. You'll be able to play crossplay. And I hope this carries on over to the next generation. I don't see why it wouldn't, to be honest.
I'm interested to see how it works because obviously to play online on the PlayStation as well, you need PSN subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously
Microsoft
is the same.
Live,
yeah, you need Xbox Live, but obviously like when it comes to PC gaming, So like for me, I was playing Monster Hunter World. I played it from release, and I had a few friends that I was like, "Oh, you should definitely get Monster Hunter. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it." And a lot of my friends were like, "Well, I don't want to get it on the PlayStation because it means I have to pay for PSN, which I'm currently not paying for. So I have to buy a £40 game. Then I have to sign up for a subscription service as well, just to play it online."
Yeah.
And then it came out on PC. A few of my friends picked up on that, but we can't crossplay. But then it becomes really interesting because PS4 now has crossplay with all of their games as long as the dev opts in. Monster Hunter World, they release stuff. So Iceborne came out on the PlayStation last week. Iceborne isn't coming out on the PC till next year. How is this going to play? Which also leads us really well into Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which they've made a big deal about. Oh, we've got the crossplay on Modern Warfare already, but they've released a battle mode for the PlayStation and they haven't released it for the computer. And
for the computer.
I don't know why I said for the computer, for the PC copy. The PC version doesn't have access to. Do you know what mode it is? I've just realized I don't.
Yeah, but this wasn't actually a planned topic. I like how you're saying it's some sort of segue, but we didn't actually plan this topic.
We spoke about it in the pre-show.
Was it? Yeah, we spoke about it. It wasn't a planned topic. Was it survival or something like that? It was some form of mode. That's going to be a year exclusive, I believe, on the PlayStation, which. That kind of sucks. I mean, if we're going to talk about Modern Warfare, I'll talk about my problems with it already, because I already know I have problems with Modern Warfare because it's a Blizzard game.
Spec Ops Survival mode.
There you go, Spec Ops Survival. So I don't know what that mode is.
I don't know what the mode consists of.
No, me neither. I'm in two minds about Modern Warfare because I really want to play the campaign because I've heard from the journos that the campaign is just too shocking. It's too dark, and that's why I think I really like. Yeah, so I think I'll really like it, and because I do like a dark, gritty storyline, so I think I'd really like that. But I also really don't want to play another Call of Duty because the last two I bought, I enjoyed not the last Black Ops. Black Ops before that, I enjoyed that, but the last Black Ops, I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry, I didn't. I enjoyed it for like 2 days. And after that, it just got worse. And they've done it again where they've snuck in microtransactions later on. I'm sick of that crap. And I don't know. I'm really in two minds. Like, I don't want to support that behavior, but I'm also very intrigued by the campaign. So we'll see, I guess. I may wait for a review. I might wait for a review or two, see what people are saying. I'll probably wait for Angry Joe because I know he. I quite often agree with his reviews on stuff. So.
I don't like the run and gun style multiplayer. I know that a lot of people enjoy that, but like I prefer things like Rainbow Six that are a bit more tactical.
I prefer Halo, but the last couple of Halo games were crap, especially Halo 5's multiplayer. That was god awful. So I'm hoping.
Also, Call of Duty Modern Warfare introduced basically we copied Battlefield. They have these huge
got vehicles in them, yeah.
Big team maps that have vehicles and squad spawning and all this stuff that's literally just Battlefield.
For Battlefield, but from what I've seen of the I saw some beta footage and it doesn't. I don't know. I don't like the look of it. Again, I'd rather play Battlefield 4, which is still the best sort of modern warfare shooter of the last sort of decade for me. Like I can't think of a better one.
I know that Platt and Outlaw Viking played the beta and they really enjoyed it, but they're big Call of Duty
those
fans.
Kind of games, though. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So I was a bit like
their demographic.
Although I just found out, so in one article from Polygon, they were talking about the exclusive mode. So the exclusive mode is a subcategory of a full mode. So there is Spec Ops, which is available on every platform.
Yeah.
But Spec Ops Survival is only on the PlayStation.
Can we just, just to lead this into sort of a general topic that I've just thought of now? I'm sick of like, there's so many like different editions of games now, especially going back to Ubisoft. Ubisoft and EA do this. You've got the base or standard edition, and you've got the deluxe, then the digital deluxe, then the collectors, then the super digital collectors deluxe, then you've got the I've got too much money, I don't know what to do with it. I'm trying to spend some, I want to buy this edition. Like you've got all these different types of editions. Then you've got all these different release dates where you've got, well, are you on Origin Access or are you subscribed, or so you get to play on this day and you get to play it on this day and you get to
Wasn't
play
it Anthem that was there was like 6 versions. They all had different release dates.
It's pretty much every Ubisoft and EA game that does it, honestly. Anthem just got picked up because the game was garbage.
I'm fine with it for some stuff. Like The Last of Us 2, they have 4 different tiers, but every one of them is the same release date and the same game.
Yeah, but this one
it's just like you get some PS4 like emblems, or you
Yeah.
get one of them, you get a model, one of them
Yeah.
you get like Ellie's backpack. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that stuff. If it's just like, do you want some like extra merch with your game?
Yeah.
Do you want an audiobook?
The people used to
Do you want-
argue years ago, back before the digital age, people used to like really get angry about collector's editions and be like, oh, it's far too much money. Blah, blah. And I've never understood that, because if you're willing to pay $100 for a cheap plastic statue, go ahead. And that's how it used to be. You used to have the base game, and some games had a collector's edition, or maybe a game would come with a few little bits and you'd pay 10 or 20 pounds more or whatever. But if you're happy to pay money for a physical product, then go ahead. Like, why not, right? But now we have so many editions, we have so many different things, and people have made jokes, and it's not even really a joke, that with the EA games you actually need like a spreadsheet to figure out which edition to, you know, to pay for. And on top of that, now we've got so many sort of timed exclusives, and you get it earlier on PlayStation, and you got to wait a week or a month or a year on Xbox, and it's just getting so confusing, you know? Just like, I feel like they're trying to confuse us on purpose. It's like, if they're confused, they won't realize how many microtransactions we've put in there.
Why have they got that voice?
That every evil corporate leader has that voice. Come on, Elliott.
Okay.
Obviously, duh. But yeah, I'm just kind of sick of it. You know, like just stop it now, industry. Just stop. Like, even Taylor's sick of it. She's had enough. Right? She doesn't
No,
even
I
buy
just feel
those
like
games.
when we do impressions, I get uncomfortable.
Wait, you get uncomfortable impressions?
Well,
What's wrong
to
with
be
that? It's a
fair,
British
normally-
impression. I'm allowed to do
yeah,
English accent.
Normally you do other countries and it gets shady.
Oh god, there's so many
Like,
jokes. I could
remember we had to cut out everything.
make. No, look, I'm allowed to do British accents. That's fine. I'm just a very, very rich British person now. That's fine. I'm allowed to.
What?
Do
He smokes 40 a
What's that?
day.
Was that a British that you were doing?
Yeah. Yeah, of
He's-
course.
yeah.
My name is Grumpy. I'm the Grumpy Brit. Yeah, of course it is. It's like an old sort of war general, you know, who's like,
Desperately clawing.
smokes cigars and drinks too much port.
Okay.
Yeah.
Desperately clawing back to Modern Warfare.
Do we have to?
My favorite quote from anyone ever. So Taylor Kurosaki, who is the narrative director at Infinity Ward, he was quoted saying that the decision to hold out Spec Ops Survival on other platforms was a decision made above their pay grades. And I'm just like,
So the
oh
executives,
boy.
of
Yeah,
course,
so
of course,
the execs
we
and the
know
stockholders.
this. We've been
We're just
saying this
like,
for a long time. The people ruining
everyone
these
else.
companies are not the developers. It's not the people on the ground. It's not the people losing their jobs either. It's the people who sit there on big piles of money who don't need any more money, but they just really want more money. They couldn't even spend all the money that they have, but they still do these horrible decisions. Speaking of people sitting on massive piles of money, should we talk about it? Should we talk about the tax scandal that's happened recently?
Ooh,
Because
I love sitting on money. I wish I had some.
I wish I had a pile of money. But no, so there's been more. Just to add to it, we're going to get all the negative stuff out of the way, then we're going to end on a positive one today.
Are we?
Yeah.
I
we're
love
gonna
the
talk
positive
about,
one.
Yeah, we're
It
going to
feels
talk about
very-
the new
very
game coming out. There's a new game. We're going to talk about that later. It's not a video game, but it's a game. Anyway, so there has been another scandal in the UK. The UK's been getting a lot of video game scandals recently with the loot box fiascos and so on and so forth. But this one comes down to tax. And this is not the first time this has happened. But if you haven't heard the news, there is and I keep forgetting the name of it, but there is basically a fund set up for smaller game development studios to get help developing their games. And it is here we go. It is the Video Games Tax Relief Initiative, or the VGTR, which has been designed for smaller studios to help them claim back expenses, essentially. And there is a pot every year that is put together and people can go and claim it. So it sounds really good, right? Smaller studios, they struggle. It's very difficult to be an indie dev these days. I mean, it's always been difficult to be an indie dev, but it's hard being a smaller creator or a smaller artist or smaller whatever. And so the UK, they understand that. The government's put some money aside to help those people out. And some big old companies have come along and gone, no, I think we want that. I think we want that. So let's name and shame them, shall we? We've got 3, I believe. Sony, Sega, and Warner Brothers have all decided to take some of that money, totaling £110 million. So these tax breaks that are meant for indie developers have been, again, about 50% of it, according to The Guardian, has been taken by giant mega corporations. Corporations who, let's be honest, quite a lot of these corporations get found out that they don't pay the proper tax anyway. We've already had that this year. There's been tax scandals already. But they've decided to just come along and take it. And I've said this a million times before. I've said these big corporations who add microtransactions to games, who do all this shady stuff that nobody likes, they don't care about you or me. They don't care about customers. They don't care about developers. They don't care about anybody as long as they're getting their money. And now it's so apparent. It's so apparent that they don't care, that they are literally harming indie developers. Which, let's be honest, I'm not surprised. It's competition to them, isn't it? But not only do they price them out of the market, they now are taking away money that's meant for them. What do you guys think about this? This is for me, this is a big deal. 110 million pounds. Could you imagine how many indie games could have come out with 110 million pounds? What do you guys think? Any thoughts on that one?
I'm mad about it. I don't look.
You seem very mad.
I'm keeping it inside. Like all the rest of my feelings, I'm just pushing it down.
Yeah.
But no, like. It's really frustrating, especially for such a booming industry where we've had some amazing indie games coming out over the last couple of years. And not even like indie games, but like smaller development teams. Like I keep harking on about Stardew, where they have a one-man dev team.
Yeah.
And this is an initiative that was put together to help, I think it's titles deemed to reflect British creativity.
Yeah.
And they have a scoring system, which is how you work out whether or not you're eligible. And basically, these large game creators just kind of went, "Oh, free money, excellent, thanks, I'll take it." Yeah. It's just like it's frustrating.
It's kind of like the fault of the people who make the qualifiers for who is willing, like, or who is able to collect on that money. Like, you can't really fault somebody, like, or like a company. Like, yeah, there's like an ethical dilemma of like you're taking money away from other companies, but like that. They're right. Like if the qualifiers let them do that and they meet those qualifications, then like that's like that doesn't make sense to me. Like how can you be mad about something that like you're mad at the wrong person?
So it depends, because it's not fully apparent how they got it. Because it wouldn't surprise me, and I've got the Guardian article open here, but it wouldn't surprise me if these companies did something shady to qualify. They did something.
But that's there's no proof.
What do you mean there's no proof?
Like, how can you say that, like, without having any proof of that they've done something shady?
Well, okay, so what I'm saying is there is a pot of money designed for small studios, and a large studio got its hands on it. Like, something has to have happened there. There has to be a problem somewhere, and it can't be accidental. It didn't accidentally find its way to these studios' money, right? So that's their pockets.
Well, no, they have teams of people that look for these types of tax breaks and these types of payouts and compensation. Like that's somebody's job to look for those types of things. So they've just found it.
But again, I mean, this is how industry works. There's probably some corruption on both sides, but what I'm saying is there is a pot of money designed for a specific group of people who need it. Not just anybody. These people that need it. Studios that potentially might close tomorrow without a little bit of help, right? And again, it's tax relief, so it's not like it's money that you claim back off taxes that you've already paid. Mm-hmm. So it's not like here's a handout almost. It is, but it's a bit more complicated than that. But my point is it's designed with a specific purpose. It's designed to help people, and it's going to people who don't need it. Now, that is a problem. That is a problem that needs to be fixed. And I agree with you, like, the system there needs changing, so it can't happen. But what I'm saying is how did that end up happening? It has to be at fault of these big studios. They didn't do it by accident. They clearly did it on purpose. They took the money that they wouldn't... Because here's the thing. If it was something that, was like a genuine error... that why didn't these companies then give it back? You know what I mean? Like they would have given it back, right? But we know that's not how these big companies work. They clearly wanted the money. They took the money, designed for somebody else. So for me, the only fault lies with these companies, because at the end of the day, they could have always just not claimed the tax relief. Like half these companies don't pay tax anyway. We've had this.
I see both your angles, because obviously, like in a sense of morality, the companies definitely could have just gone like, this money isn't intended for us. But at the same time, Taylor has a great point. That's not how business works. Well, yeah, Taylor has a great point of like, everyone only cares about the bottom line. And realistically, whoever came up with the system, the Video Game Tax Relief Initiative, it was in 2014 that it got brought out. when that was done, someone should have looked at it and gone like, okay, so how do we make sure, because we know these big companies are going to try and get their hands on it, how do we make sure that that's the thing that doesn't happen? Like realistically, it's easy enough to do as a human element. Just say like, cool, if your like yearly gross is above this, or basically just be like, it has to be an independent studio, or it has to go past a panel to make sure. All they had to do was pay 5 people, make them like a board for this initiative, and just say like, cool, every application has to go through this board and they have to look at it. And then the people on that board, if they know video games, are going to go like, oh, Sega? No. Because Sega is a massive corporation.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, oh, an indie dev studio running from, I don't know, Portsmouth. They have 6 people on their team and like their game didn't make as much money as they're hoping for. Like, yes. And big green stamp, jobs are good in. But instead, they just put it into place and they just went,
like,
cool.
I don't think it's at the fault of the company for like applying for a tax break that's available. Like, that's somebody's job to look for those types of things and to file those types of requests. Where I think the problem is definitely like, I'm not saying that it's like that they
like, I would love if companies had the ethics to be like, yeah, this, like, yeah, we could get a tax break, but it's taking money, especially on the basis that, because it's really bad for an economy to have money that is in your economy move out to another country's economy, and most of this money is leaving the UK economy.
Yeah.
So not only is it bad for the tax relief and bad for our government and bad for small game devs, but it's also bad for the British economy as well, which means the government are probably going to look at it and be like, well, we need to close this down, or we need to re-edit it, or temporarily, which there are game developers who should be getting some of that money who now aren't going to be able to because Warner Brothers couldn't keep their hands off of it.
100%. And so without getting too political, because I could go on a big rant about the UK country as a country, the UK politics as a whole. But if you think about it, this is why I really don't like these big mega corporations, because they hire people, they criminally underpay them. You know, a lot of these people are very underpaid, in my honest opinion, for how much money the company makes compared to how much money the people that actually do 95% of the work make. So these people are underpaid. People always say, oh, without big industry, we wouldn't have all these jobs, but then they cut jobs as soon as they feel like it. Look at Blizzard. Blizzard this year cut nearly 10% of its workforce the day after it was popping champagne corks and celebrating record year of performance. They then cut 10% of their staff. So they're getting rid of staff. They're cutting staff.
And then replaced all their community managers because they realised they needed them.
Yeah. Underpaying their staff, treating their staff not the greatest, forcing them to do things they don't want to do. And then when it comes to the end of it and they make their billions and billions and billions of money, they then don't even pay back into the economy. They don't pay their taxes back into the economy. And this is we actually have had evidence of companies doing weird things to pay less tax. That's truth. I mean, Amazon, this is fact, so I can talk about this. Amazon have done it. They've dodged tax in the UK. Big video game industry has done it also in the UK. They don't pay back into the country. And how is it fair that a singular person like myself or Elliott, if we earn any money whatsoever, we have to pay tax on it? And a lot of people in this country end up paying so much tax that they can't really have a good quality of life. They can't afford to live. Yet these big companies who make so much money don't. It's not right. And when it comes to this specific example, this tax relief was set up with a really good intention. That intention is helping smaller studios create video games. And it's not being utilized for that. It's being utilized to just give these people who already have a heck of a lot of money just a little bit more, And I feel like it's like anything, a big company like this, £1 million to them is nothing, right? But £1 million to a small studio, that could be that could literally be the make or break for them. And I think it's disgusting that yet again, big industry does what it wants and gets away with it because it's big industry, right? Big companies that can basically do what they want. And I just think this is why I complain. This is why anytime anybody goes like, oh, I'm sick about hearing about the AAA video game industry, this is why I won't shut up about it, because this stuff happens and this is affecting people's lives. Whether, sure, a game comes out and it's bad, it's not the end of the world, but if you actually think about it, this sort of stuff is affecting people's jobs and their livelihoods, and it is actually affecting people and a lot more than a lot of people realize. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest, but I am just disappointed yet again by large corporations. I mean, don't get me wrong. When we talk about Sega in this story, it's Creative Assembly, and Creative Assembly have made some of my favorite games. Total War series, I love them. Apart from my hate that they every single time they bring out a new Total War game, they're like, ha ha ha, we're charging for blood. If you want blood in the game, you have to pay for it. But they made Alien Isolation and they made Total War, which is amazing games. The studio is making brilliant games, and I'm sure, again, it's nobody in the studio that's making these decisions. You know, it's the people at the top who are making these decisions. And yeah, no, I'm not going to sit here and just let it happen. I'm going to at least have my say. That's the only thing I can do to fight back against it, is have my say and maybe let some people know who didn't know about this crap. There we go. That's what I'll do. So stop taking tax. Pay it. Pay your taxes. Don't do a Jimmy Carr. And I'm allowed to make that joke. He's made that joke. Do you know Jimmy Carr, Taylor, as a Canadian? He's a British comedian, and he got caught tax evading, but then he paid his taxes, and then he made a joke about it in one of his stand-up specials about evading tax. But yeah, so we have one final, I guess, I don't really want to call it news.
It's not news, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's a new game coming out.
This whole time, anyone that's watching it, if you keep seeing me turn this way, that's where my monitor is.
You guys can have this topic. Go. What's coming out? It's not a video game, but what's coming out?
My favorite restaurant.
So
Is it
Wendy,
actually?
Restaurant is loose. No, but it's up there. It's up there.
whoever does Wendy's like Twitter is a genius already.
Oh yeah.
Wendy's Twitter is fan. Like, they just throw shade. They just call people out. Like, they just interact with people on like quite a human level.
Yeah.
Which you see some corporations where they do this. Well, like, you see some corporations where they try and give the impression that they are, but whoever the hell is doing Wendy's Twitter, just like, if someone tags Wendy's in something, they just leap in, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then this week, Wendy's decided, a lot of people are comparing it to KFC came out with a dating sim a few weeks ago. It went on Steam. It's actually a pretty well fleshed out game from what I've heard. Wendy's have gone way further. Wendy's are releasing a... Wendy's are releasing...
Someone's excited for it.
Someone's excited for the news. Wendy's are releasing a D&D campaign. Wow. I have no idea what my housemate is doing.
Which one is that?
That's Matt. He comes into stream every now and then. He's very blonde.
Bring Matt in here.
Get him in. Tell him the news.
We need him to know about it.
Wendy's have released a D&D campaign, which apparently, like, the main enemy...
We'll get some footage up. That one. There we go. We'll get some... Yeah, we'll have some images or whatever of it.
Apparently, the main enemy in this campaign is frozen beef. But, like, they've released a free PDF. It is 97 pages long. It's basically a D&D player's handbook. And it has everything from creating a character, different classes, what your stats do, like in-game stuff, even down to like in D&D, if you move into someone's... So if you move close to an enemy and then you try and move away without taking an action, they get a free attack against you, an attack of opportunity. Wendy's has that too. They have cheap shots. They have falling down, resting, feasting. Rolling a 1 is called a big oops. Like, it's really well put together.
I don't believe we have Wendy's in the UK. We definitely don't have it anywhere near.
We do not have Wendy's in the UK, no.
Yeah, so I feel like if we had Wendy's in the UK, I might get more excited about this one. But I know if I start playing it, I'm going to get really interested in Wendy's, and then I just won't be able to eat it. So
I'm really excited for a cool D&D campaign.
You can't. Well, you could mail it to me. It wouldn't be edible by the time it got here. But yeah, it's a cool idea. I mean... I feel like there is, there's a really big market for tabletop games, and I'm sure people are going to find this hilarious, going to find it silly, they're going to play it.
The descriptions are so in-depth. There's a table of weapons, so all the weapons are cooking-based. So the lightest weapon is a spoon and a knife, and then you go up to a great knife and a cast iron skillet. There's literally just a column for can I throw it? And the answer for each of them is how far you can... So like a paring knife, you can throw 60 feet. A great fork, can't throw it. It's a two-handed weapon. Like, just it's so well made.
What's
and
a
put
great
together.
fork? Have you ever been like in a like a pub or a restaurant? Have you seen like the giant cutlery on the wall sometimes? Like
That's a great fork.
Is that a great fork? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like there's weapons, there's different classes. The classes are all based around, they call them orders. So there's order of the chicken, which is the art of the chicken. There's order of the beef, and there's order of the sides.
I've already decided I'm in order of the sides.
Wait, I'll check the order of the sides.
For the fries.
Order of the sides, I think.
I'm
assuming
sandwich.
I'm assuming you get fries at Wendy's.
I'm gonna play order of the beef because they're like the heavy armor, like two-handed weapon stuff.
You just wait. You just wait. The dips are taking over.
Well, there's no dips. You're fine. But yeah, order of the sides is like there's Frosties, which is their milkshakes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't that where Frosty and Fries comes from?
Frosty, a Frosty is like in between a milkshake and like a soft serve. Like it's like.
What's a soft serve?
Like ice cream. You know, like Mr. Whippy. That's soft serve ice cream.
Oh.
Soft serve. So there's ice cream like hard. And then
okay, so it's like a thick milkshake.
So okay.
Like it doesn't really like only if it melts can you drink it.
Oh, okay.
So Grumps, order of the sides, you could be order of the Frosty, order of the French fries, you could be order of the Baconator fries, or order of the chili. Oh, and order of the baked potato, which I think would suit you the most.
Why?
Why?
Skilled with heavy armor, throwing.
Are you saying I look
like
a potato?
I'm just saying.
You bastard. Honestly.
I'm just saying. Also, level 1 skill, Salt of the Earth passive. That sums you up pretty well. But they've gone really into depth. There's a quick start. So the D&D player handbook has a quick start guide of like, okay, if you want to make a character, you probably want to do like this, this, and this. So like, they've really done a good job with.
I wonder if JP would be down for this because he literally messaged me on Twitter yesterday. He was like, "Here, look, somebody's made an Alien tabletop RPG for free. Here you go. Would you play it?" And I'd be like, "Totally. I love Alien." I wonder if he'd be down for it because he is coming to EGX with us next week. So I feel like he could DM for us.
Oh my god, at EGX, should we play the Wendy's tabletop?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we could make some content. See, Taylor, you need to come to England.
My eyes are watering. Why?
Because you're crying because you're not coming to EGX.
Because of the Wendy's.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, if you don't have dice because you don't play tabletops, feastoflegends.com/roll the dice. They have a dice generator there. It's an RNG generator.
I mean, I don't have that many dice. I have some. Actually, that's a lie. I have loads.
You guys get me in my board games.
I would love to play some board games. I love board games. I don't have a board game group, but you're not coming to England because you're a dropout, so you can't.
I may have a couple of dice. Just a small selection.
I was speaking to Sammy, who's also coming to EGX the other day. There's always like a board game stall at EGX. Well, I'm assuming there always is because there was last year. I'm down for buying a board game while we're there and playing it. So I think that's all being a good idea. Also, Taylor should have come. She could have played a board game with us, but hey ho, she's a dropout.
I really want to play Above and Below on a video because there's a lot of like reading. There's like a lot of storytelling in the game.
It's a really good game.
And I love doing all the reading because a lot of my friends that I play board games with are all dyslexic, so they're like, I don't want to do the reading, and I'm just like, I will do all the reading. I'll do voices, everything. Like we saw at Twitch Sings, I will do the voices. Like I was keen. But no, board games. I'm up for board games. I'm up for Wendy's Feast of Legends. So yeah, the bottom of the PDF, the free PDF, by the way.
I feel like Taylor had a point and you just way spoke over.
Sorry, I get excited.
Rude. How rude.
PDF, go ahead.
So the end of the PDF has a Game Master's Guide. It literally has a 3, 4, 5-part campaign. It's just there, ready for you to do.
Oh, is the one ready?
Yeah, they've made a campaign. It's got maps. It's got everything.
We're doing it. I'll print them out. We're doing it. We're gonna play.
Oh, I wouldn't print them. Just get everyone to do the PDF. But like,
why not print them?
there's maps. You can't start off in the capital city of Freshtovia. Like
they really put effort in.
They've really fleshed it out. I don't want to go too far into the.
Basically, what we're saying is Wendy's are putting more effort into. Whoa!
In case I play.
Whoa! My Discord is having a fit.
My Discord just exploded.
Yeah, Wendy's are putting more effort into their bullshit tabletop RPG than most AAA developers are putting into their fully fledged, full price video game.
Sorry, bullshit tabletop? You mean amazing tabletop?
Yeah, but it's also still bullshit. I mean, come on. Like,
also,
it's funny bullshit, but it's bullshit.
You know the social media guy at Wendy's. If we do a video for it and tweet it out, he'll just be like, "Hey, they played the campaign. Here we go. There's some clout for you,
Free advertising.
mate. This is the best kind of advertising. YouTube won't even advertise us. We need Wendy's to do it.
That's true. They won't. We are too shocking for YouTube, apparently. It's all the swears we say and all of the angry rants I do against all of the really rich and powerful companies. I mean,
Or maybe it's when you do.
It's all the libel.
is your Discord also not happy?
Yeah, mine did it a little bit then as well.
My Discord has not been happy this entire time. This is going to be a very difficult podcast to watch. I'm sorry. If you're still watching the podcast, well done. Holy crap.
I've noticed, so this happens to me quite a lot on Discord, but it never shows up on the like recorded and edited podcast. So
yeah, I go through and I edit every little bit, and I don't do that. I barely have any time to edit the podcast anymore because we usually record on a Friday. Ignore Taylor's top. We usually record on a Friday, and I aim to upload on a Saturday. Although the last few weeks we've had to do it on a Sunday. So
Is this backwards for you?
No, that's just backwards for you.
Yours reverses for you because then it's
why I'm the only one every week that's backwards because I record this. So.
Do you know, when we first started this out, I was like, oh, my t-shirt's reading backwards. And I was like, wait, does Terry's go backwards? So I actually opened up one of the podcasts and I was like, oh, the Twitch pillow's on the right.
Yeah, it bugs me, but I could actually fix it. Like I could legit fix it. I could probably fix it right now. Should we fix it? Is this going to work?
Wait, yeah, just flip it in.
Oh my god, we're the right way round for the first time.
How has it been 22 episodes?
I do this every week on stream as well. Like I flip my camera all the time on stream, and it's never occurred to me to do it on the podcast. Although I guarantee you somebody in the comments is going to be like, I liked it the other way, it's weird now. But yeah, there we go. I'm the right way around. It feels weird to me, to be honest. But yeah, Wendy's, go download it, I guess, if you want. If I can remember, I'll leave a link down below to Wendy's RPG. But
if you play it, let us know how it plays because I feel like we probably are going to play this at EGX.
I feel like we are. I've got so many plans, and I know we talk about EGX every week, but we've only got one episode left before we go to EGX. So we've got this one today, and then next week, and then after that we will be at EGX, which, by the way, I totally plan on doing an episode while we're there. So I'm probably gonna have to buy a camcorder for that though, thinking about it, because my Canon M50 only does up like 15 minutes at a time. So unless
am I gonna be put on a laptop and like we're gonna do the robot?
Possibly we're gonna
do the robot. We're gonna break dance.
We said this last week that we were gonna put Taylor on a screen and make a robot for her so she could walk around London with us. Like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory. But yeah, so I am totally planning on doing a live episode. I say live, but like an episode at EGX. So there'll be me, Elliott, and if JP and Sammy wanna join in, they can. We'll try and get Taylor in somehow. Although we won't be able to do it at the same time next week because we will be at the convention at 5 o'clock. So
how do you do that? There we go.
No, you carry on. Keep telling them about the podcast. I'm just gonna.
I see what you're doing. Wow, you're like a bobblehead.
I can't. My neck doesn't do that as fast as yours.
You have to like with a bobblehead. It has to be like.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Do this.
Somebody's.
It doesn't hurt you.
Themselves.
Why are you so fast? Content, friends.
This has been episode 22 of the Grumpy Gaming Weekend podcast. Oh yeah. So yeah, basically like it's coming out. So we'll have one more episode of the podcast next week, and then we will be at EGX, and so there's going to be a lot more content. So if you like vlog style stuff, there's going to be some vlogs. There's going to be. I have a couple of ideas for videos, but it depends if everybody's going to be on board with it. We've had an idea, haven't we? But we haven't told JP yet. Although I remember Turtle Mode is coming. She's also an American, so we could do it with her as well.
We could do 2v2.
We could do a 2v2. So we have some ideas we have lots of ideas for videos. So I'm going to be making videos the whole time I'm there and editing.
I legitimately think we're going to run out of time before we run out of videos.
Oh, we will. We'll run out of time quicker. But I've got my microphone. I have my microphone now. We got a very, very generous donation a couple of weeks ago on Twitch. And so that paid for a microphone that I could do interviews with. And I tested it today and it's fantastic. So I'm going to be able to do some interviews. I just need Elliott to be the cameraman. And hopefully we'll get some devs that are willing to let me stand there and ask some questions about their game. Because I am literally called TheGrumpyBrit, and I guarantee I'm gonna get a couple of weird people be like, no, they're not gonna be weird, but I'm gonna be like, hey, can I interview you? They'll be like, oh yeah, sure, what's your channel? I'm TheGrumpyBrit. They're gonna be like,
No.
Not sure. Not sure if I want to or not. But no,
Just show them a few clips of my Twitch channel. Like, this is the guy I work with, and they'll be like,
it's
"Oh,
fine.
okay, they're just weird. It's fine."
Yeah, we're just weird. It's all good. But no, I'm hoping that we can get some devs on board. There's a couple of games I've already got in mind, so that'll be great. But yeah, expect loads of content coming out in the next sort of in about 2 weeks' time. Expect a lot more grumpy gaming content with Elliott and myself, and unfortunately no Taylor because she lives too goddamn far away.
Canada.
Canada.
I just doxed Taylor. She's in Canada. People can find her now.
Damn! People know where she lives now. Darn.
Sorry, Taylor. Just bleep it out. It's fine.
We'll bleep it out. She lives in Mississippi. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. that was literally the first place that came into my mind. I don't know why.
If anyone wants to come play Minecraft with us, it's now on Mondays because Elliott's gonna stream it on Mondays.
Apparently so, even though I work, so I won't be able to do it. Whatever.
It's not
This
on
wasn't
Mondays.
agreed, but sure.
What day do you want? What day do you want?
We'll
Friday.
figure that out. We'll figure that out off the
But-
podcast.
No,
but-
no,
Yeah, let's not do this while live recording something.
The point is that I've been streaming Minecraft. Come hang out with me at twitch.tv/isharkick, and maybe Elliott will be there since now he has no excuse.
He owns the game
And-
now. I don't know
you
what
see
that face
that?
was. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I coughed.
Did you?
Ew.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, I've been doing weird faces the whole time. Neither of you have noticed any of them.
He just does it so he can go back and clip and get little gifs for his streams. That's
To be
what he
fair, the
does.
little gif that I used for my pinned tweet is so good.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Like, I was really pleased with it.
I'm glad you But yeah, please
Yeah.
continue, Taylor. Where can people find you?
that's about it.
So Minecraft streamer now for life at twitch.tv/Autarkic.
I might do Planet Zoo. I'm still on the fence.
Okay. I think you should.
Sure.
I'd watch that because then I'd decide if I want to buy it or not.
I know, it looks so good.
Okay. So Elliott, where
Yeah,
can people
yeah.
find you? What have you got coming up?
You can find me on twitch.tv/blindsideuk. I'm going to be starting a blind first-time playthrough of The Last of Us.
Wait, do you play games blind?
I play games blind. Blind playthroughs of almost every game. Dark Souls was blind. Bloodborne was blind. It wasn't the intention. That was nothing. We did the episode where we did Origins of Names. I've just kind of steered into the branding because it's just free branding.
Yeah.
But no, like
an
I
accident.
keep just like getting suggested games to play that I haven't played before. So it's just like I'd rather do that than play the same game over and over again. So like, although I say that, I stream a lot of Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley's been Tuesdays and Thursdays. But yeah, this week, apparently Monday's Minecraft, which is supposed to be Last of Us. So I think Tuesday might have to be Last of Us, and Wednesday. And then on Friday is Finish It Fridays, where I take games that I've had forever and I've probably started and never finished them. And I play them start to finish and we get through them and we have a lot of fun doing it. It's good times. Mostly, my stream today was mostly me looking up dumb videos and getting excited about stuff and then just finding it and showing it to everyone.
And
Like
coughing.
Like Netty Pots.
There was lots of coughing.
There was
By
a
the
lot of
way,
coughing.
conversation again.
Do you own a neti pot? Because they come with like a huge warning.
Is the warning don't do this?
Don't do it unless you have like the proper like ionized water.
Well, no, actually on the video, because I watched it today, you can do it with normal water, but you have to boil it for at least 3 minutes and then let it cool. Let it cool before you put it in your
Apparently,
sinuses.
that's not true.
Oh, according to their official video. Well, why are we arguing about this? Doesn't matter.
Regardless, this
Because
is
you
not a
can't
podcast.
get, like, a-
This is not a podcast topic. Don't
Go-
use them. Just don't
go-
use them.
Don't use
To
a neti
Twitter.
pot.
People don't know what it is
.com.
anyway. They're gonna Google it and be like, "What it is?" Just don't use it. All right? It's like a hygiene thing, but you don't need it.
Yeah, don't do that. Also, twitter.com/blindside_UK is my Twitter. I argue with people. Normally, if I'm on a bus going back and forth to work, I'm on Twitter, just interacting with people. Hopefully, I'm trying to build up more like a more varied thing of streamers and stuff that I interact with on Twitter so that I can have this like networking tool. But also, if you follow me, you're going to see all these cool streamers that I've found and curated as a big list of streamers I like. And then you can like them too. So
Amazing.
it's all good. But that's me.
Brilliant. I don't even know if I have much coming up on my Twitch channel this week. I've been sort of very lax the last few weeks because work has been kicking my ass because I work 45 hours a week and it's really, really hard. However, I'll probably be doing some Dead by Daylight streams and stuff this week. I'll probably be streaming Sunday, Dead by Daylight, why not? And after that, next week, I have it off. So we're going to be doing lots and lots more content because I can't goddamn wait. But guys, if you have watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I enjoy doing this every week. I know these guys do as well. And I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like. Let me know in the comments below. Seriously, if you have made it all the way to the end, this is a long podcast every week. If you have made it this far, let me know. I want to know. I want to know who's here at the end. And yeah, I'll see you all next
I
time.
bet Nutchy's here. Nutchy will still be here. Hey, Nutchy, how you doing?
We should have an emoji that if you made it to the end, put this emoji. The okay one.
No, because that's
that's not
okay
as positive. Put fire.
You're not allowed
emoji.
okay anymore because it's racist.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Why?
The ADL were like, no, can't do that.
What?
So do the fire emoji. Put a fire emoji in a comment.
Yeah,
just
put
have
fire
your normal
emoji.
comment, and then put
Okay,
a fire emoji.
but
Yeah.
I
Fire
wasn't trying to be
emoji.
racist there, people. I just don't know what's happening.
I have no clue either.
Ignorance is no excuse.
Sure, we'll just do fire emojis. It's fine. That's the end of the podcast.
Fire
no
emojis.
racism. It was an accident. This is why we don't get promoted. I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye, guys. Love you.
You love them. Wow.
I love them.
How is this racist?
Because if you do it like that, wait, I'm mirrored, aren't I? So
No, you're not mirrored.
yeah, yeah, but I'm mirrored on mine. So if you do it like this, that's a W, right? And then that's a P. And just look it up. OK symbol is now racist because someone on 4chan made a meme of it. And then some journalist was like, oh my God, this must be true. And then they reported it. And it's the funniest shit ever. Basically, journalists
So
are
it's
dumb.
not actually racist.
No, of course not.
We're not actually racist. That we can end the podcast now knowing we're not racist. Thank you all for
Wait,
watching.
what? We're still
I don't know.
podcasting?
Oh, we
I
are
thought
still
we were
live,
done.
guys. No, I have not clicked stop recording yet because you guys didn't give me a suitable point to stop the podcast, so I'm going to do it now.
I yelled, I love you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't stop recording because I needed
Guys,
to
this is
explain it.
Embarrassing.
I'm allowed to love our viewers. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, guys, we'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.